Back to the build. I've finished the base plate. Now I have to set the level of the joist before insulating and sheeting the floor. So as you can see, I finished the dodai. I put the crank jacks on, the crank head scar they're called in Japanese. So I'm going to settle those now. It's a netherless floor system. So after this we insulate it and lay the 24mm plywood. So I also have to put on these brackets called JHS. Anywhere on the Olbiki, which is the joists, and anywhere that's not sitting on concrete needs one of these each side. And we use the Kanemono gun for that. 65 nails. And just hold that on there and shoot into the hole. It's a dangerous gun, so make sure you always got eye and ear protection. And one on each side. Okay, I'll get back to you later. So this is how I set the ones. Put a string, a piece of plywood under it. Already put my glue under there. As you can see, that needs to come up a couple of mils. So like I did before, we just turn that clockwise, hold the base, that way the thread at the top and the bottom will be the same. Keep that nut out of the way because sometimes it gets covered in glue. And let the glue all squeeze out. And then slowly push it up until a bit of plywood's just hitting the string. And that's it. Now we tighten the nuts back down. Tighten them up with a spanner. This is that super concrete and bond. I like to use my foot because it's so, especially in the winter, so hard to get out. Squeeze some of that under there, and I wind this down on top. So hold the bottom, twist it clockwise. That way you get an even thread at the top and the bottom. And because I've already set the middle, the height in the middle, I'm just going to snug this one up basically, because I know the height's already good. And then later on we'll put concrete nails in those holes. So I've finished the dodai, the netherless floor system. I've set all the crank jakes, I've nailed all the Kanemono, the metal brackets and JHS. Now it's time to insulate the floor before we sheet. So for that I have to use these other metal brackets, which are here. So I'll show you how these work. Basically that pins into the 4x4 like that, and you get one of the bars, and that just slots in there on the second notch because we're using 50mm insulation. Okay, I'll get back to you when we've done that. Thank you. Okay, so we finished the clips for the insulation. Now I'm going to put the insulation in. I was going to do it, insulate the whole floor and then sheet it, but unfortunately the wind seems to have picked up, so I'm actually going to do a row of insulation and then a row of plywood flooring so it doesn't all blow around, and me and my lovely assistant here, Mr. Bradley, don't have to chase it around the field.
Hey, that's right, yeah. But you know what?
So I'll get back to you and show you how we do that. Here's the insulation, and the wind really has picked up, so let's hope we don't lose any. 50mm glass wool, and it's actually designed if it rains that the water goes through it. It doesn't hold the water, and it's pre-cut. The widths are pre-cut, so all we do is take a piece and lightly drop it in, like so. I'll get back to you when we've done that. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our first line of insulation down, and like I said earlier, as it's windy, I'm going to start laying the sheets because I don't want it blowing around. I've also got a line for my plywood, and I've glued it. You get a double row of glue on the join, and there's my sheets there. I'm going to grab one of those. And I like to go with the tongue at the back and the groove at the front. Actually, these are all round the wrong way. So let's spin that. It gets easier once you've got a row down because I've got a bit more room. And these always start from centre because we put a space around the edge later. It's very cramped at the moment because I've got too many sheets there. So the stamp as well on this plywood always goes up. This stamp over there, that always faces up. Got my gun loaded with 75 nails. Come to the first corner here, and there's my mark. I don't know if you can see that. Check them in the centre, which is half of 90, 45 mils. In the centre on my mark, one nail there. Go to the other side. Push it onto my line. One nail there. Then we just go 6 in the bay. And then 7 on the joins. 7's there already. If there's any protruding out, just make them flush. And I'm going to carry on sheeting the floor. I'll get back to you when that's done. Morning, people. So yesterday we had a big windstorm and a bit of rain blow through, and had to quit because the insulation was literally blowing out. So today I'm going to finish insulating the floor and sheeting the floor, and then the roof, the wall package is turning up, so I'm going to start on the walls as well. Okay, I'll get back to you later. Okay, so I finished the insulation, sun's come back out, now I'm going to finish the sheeting. So I've got my floor all sheeted, the subfloor's down, as you can see, and now it's time to snap out the lines where the walls go. So basically just snap out for the walls. It's exactly the same as what we did on the foundation. I've got my baseline down, and I'm going to pull everything from there. I've already checked it for square and we're all good. I'm just measuring the outside now. Just coming in on my tick there. Mark that. Do the same on the other end, and then I can snap this line through. And once I've got the perimeter snapped, I'll pull my numbers off of that and snap all the interior walls. Okay, so I've snapped all my lines out for the walls. Not sure if you can see them. Yeah, that's interior walls. The next job is to put the plywood on the outside of the 4x4s. Well, plywood. We're actually using Nova Pan. This is made from recycled PET bottles, recycled PET bottle caps. It's pretty good stuff, but it's kind of hard on your tools. But basically, this just nails on the outside here, down the edge, obviously all the way around the outside, and when you stand the wall up and the sheeted wall, it just makes it flush with that. It's just packing really. So I'll be using my 50 nailer, CN50 nails. Just hold it on there and line it up, bump shoot. So I'll get all that on, and then hopefully the first floor wall package should arrive.